CM Punk said there's been pitches for Punk to work with Chris Jericho, but there haven't been any updates on the front in quite some time. They also said a match with Samoa Joe, and while that's still reportedly in the works, the former world champion has reportedly taken a liking to Jay White.
I like that. CM Punk is like, I'll come back only if I could fight my friends.
I'll work with them only. I won't fight my friends.
I'm not putting over any new motherfuckers. Fuck that. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not these new dudes.
Fuck them.
Probably also because he's like, these new guys don't know how to wrestle, and I keep getting injured. Put me in with somebody I know.
Yeah. Put me with someone that could actually carry a real wrestling match.
Yeah, and take care of me a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm not excited about Chris Jericho versus CM Punk.
I'm not excited about Samoa Joe versus
CM Punk. I mean, I guess maybe, what was that, 10 years ago they were feuding?
Yeah.
Not actually, probably
more than 10.
15. 20. Jesus Christ. I don't know. What are you gonna do with that? If he's not coming back to wrestle anybody new, then I don't see anything big coming out of it. It's just a Legend Tour.
Legend Tour,
yeah.
That's probably what it is, and then call it a rest, my boy. Stop chasing the freaking dragon like Undertaker.
Exactly. Or do what you should have done at the beginning. Go back to WWE.
Can't, man. Vince tell him to get the fuck out every time he walks in.
I think he could broker a deal. With Triple H?
You hear who tells him to get the fuck out every time?
He's ceremoniously shown the door every single time. And he went there like as nice as possible. I heard
Triple
this
H
time.
Like, hey, buddy, yeah, you gotta talk to the big guy.
Talk to the big guy. Vince said, get the fuck out of my. He thought he was talking to Chris Candido.
He's like, you gotta talk to the big guy. You just heard him from down the hall. Get the fuck out of here.
And then Triple was like, he's busy. He can't.
I'm not busy. Get the fuck out of here.
He's not seeing anybody right now. Anybody but Punk.
I literally have an hour and a half of free time right now, and I don't want to see him.
Tell Punk to leave. I'm going to play Candy Crush for 3 hours. Oh, fuck.
I'd rather fucking take a nap.
Tell Punk to leave me alone. I'm burning hundreds for fun. Hey, Punk, this is the money I could have paid you. Yeah,
you know what? I'm actually going to pay you to shut the fuck up.
I'm going to pay Tony Khan to keep you. I don't know. I think even Vince would get over it at some point.
Yeah, when he dies.
And even then,
in his will.
Don't invite him to my funeral.
In his will, CM Punk better never come back in my doors.
He puts in his will, everybody's invited to my funeral except CM Punk.
And put that on the invitation.
Oh, fuck me.
Live.
What do you think it is? It's the lawsuit, right? Because he sued him and won?
Has to be.
But having other
Rocky
people...
Johnson...
He still hasn't forgiven Rocky Johnson.
He's dead.
Oh.
Okay, then.
I don't know. Ultimate Warrior.
Hey, before you leave,
Bret Hart.
You mind taking this knife out of my back?
You think he does that with Punk?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you know what? You're right, though, because I think a lot of the people that have come back, it was kind of more on them. Like Bret Hart, that was on Bret Hart to come back. Like Vince was already open arms after he fucking...
So it was Vince's fault.
Like he didn't even want to do it. He let him punch him in the face.
Yeah.
So Vince was never really like not forgiving about it. That's a good point. What about Ultimate Warrior? That was Vince also.
Yeah, that was Vince also.
Because Vince made that documentary about him and fucking made him look bad.
Yep.
But he was kind of like, he wasn't a good dude. Jesse Ventura? You forgave Jesse, right? It always seemed weird between them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a real forgiveness necessarily. I don't know. I feel like...
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, Hogan. But what did Hogan really do? He just went to WCW. And Vince was kind of like...
someone a nigger, and did they kick him out for that for a while?
They did. I don't think that was Vince's choice. That was more of a Vince, hey, you know what I got to do.
It hurts for me to do this, but...
Foxo, Vince had issues with everybody, but almost all of them ended up returning. That's what I'm saying. But that's where we're getting at. Have any of them had to return on Vince's forgiveness? That was always them kind of going, you know what, I forgive you, Vince.
Yeah.
Let's
get back to work.
Vince has to be the one to forgive Punk. Because Punk's already going to him.
Yeah.
That Punk might be in a weird situation. The only other one I could compare it to is Jesse Ventura, because Jesse tried to start a wrestlers union and Vince never forgave him for that because it would have ruined his business. Maybe. But I don't know. That's interesting, actually, now that I think about it.
Maybe there was an olive branch for his return before AEW. His first one, he didn't take it. He went to AEW instead. So now Vince felt like, fuck you.
We heard there were talks, right?
Yeah.
Before he went to AEW?
Yeah. I want to work for WWE. He even went to AEW, didn't really say their name, but was mentioning them.
But he never really bashed WWE. Maybe he was like subliminally keeping the door open a little bit. Because if he would have went and dropped a pipe bomb first promo, like we wanted him to.
It wasn't. It was a PG hit to the company. Because you remember, he literally just said he did nothing for all those years and then got the AEW.
It was basically the Bud Light America commercial where he went in to AEW because he knew that's what they wanted. Is they wanted him to drop the pipe bomb on WWE. And he did enough to where they were like, okay, he said some things. But in reality, he didn't say shit. He said enough that the AEW fans would pop, but it wouldn't draw a headline the next day. Where the headline is Punk bashes AEW or WWE.
The only thing he did was when he called MJF
a low rate Miz or something.
Miz,
yeah. That's more of a diss on the Miz.
Yeah, Miz replied to that.
Yeah.
Via Twitter.
Did you see that match where Miz had with Ricochet?
No.
Miz was fucking working, bro. Telling you.
Ricochet won?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't matter. Miz showed that he could wrestle.